Hello out there on the interweb, interconnected device. Bruno Guichard, Simone, Kiangile. Everything is my opinion based on my experience. It is to elevate and educate. And my IP, intellectual property, is posted on all my main pages. All the prerequisites are the same as the previous video on Facebook. All is copyrighted to Bruno Simone Angile, aka also Simone Consulting LLC, ultimately to the collective, and it is hopefully to bring glory to God. I'm a believer in Jesus, seeker of truth, not affiliated to any organization, and no one paid me to say what I say. So, a quick update. The things that I so without going into details, beside finishing Child of the Stars, L'Enfant des Étoiles, and editing other books to be released, I'm also working on multiple business opportunities. Existing one like Secret of Ancient World, which is not dead, it's just put on the shelf until the right time comes. And everything in business right now, and everything you're doing, has to be quick turnaround and cannot. So if you notice, most of the moves of the big investors or Wall Street or anyone is very quick, uh, dump and buy or you name it. So basically, it's using the chaos to make a lot of money, but they're not long term because no one knows exactly long term. Uh, Only God knows. And no one, I'm telling you, no one. They may have their vision, their own vision, but from experience, what I understand is those visions are adaptive, can evolve based on the condition, the current condition of what's going on. So there is a major direction, and so there is, a major direction, and people can evolve within those direction. But ultimately, there's not one at this moment. When we know the end, we know what is written in the text and what has not been said, but um, that we know from other texts that are less popular or whatever. But the actual final product and the end and the timing and the details, we don't. The same in science, the same in anything that we're building. But the things that will apply to right now, those are the important things. And those that will benefit you right now. So as I prepare for, and even the right now is very complex because the moving parts are continuous, and depending where you are in Europe, Asia, Africa, and the Americas, you're dealing with major geopolitical, economical, financial changes. So day to day, we're living through incredible changes, which mean that any decision, the wise thing is to wait and do nothing and say as little. So most people do that. And, you know, I try to warn people not to be too much into AI or social media right now. Not that you should not learn AI, but you don't know. So, beside the financial market, beside the what you hear and what you're allowed to hear or allowed to see on your communication device, your information device, and from people in person that you talk to and whatever they heard about. All of that is evolving, moving, and controlled and influenced by different people that have different interests. Even myself, I found myself posting. So, I found myself posting videos that had a positive message, not necessarily different from the original message, but that was influenced, or they were AI touched or changed. And so I realized more and more that yes, based on my research and what I found out, that social media and online needs to be revamped, and definitely is not for us to use like we are doing right now. And we can work online, off, remote, all that stuff, but social media is another animal. Until we make it safe, we have to be very careful. And also, it's very addictive. It's just like another drug. And because of that, and it's also right now controlling us quite a bit, influencing, let's put it that way. Obviously, everything is alleged and everything. But before social media, it was TV, radio, or the newspapers, and before that, it was author, poet, and you name it, people that would communicate throughout the country, and that's what theater plays and books and poets and people of renown. Their saying, their stories was repeated from village to village by people. So that's how communication started, word of mouth. And if you've tested it, it goes in one person in one ear, and when they say it to somebody else. So yeah, the bouche à oreille, we call it in French, is like when it goes from one mouth to somebody else's ear, and they keep on going like that. And you basically at the end of like the 10% already, the message has already changed. So imagine on the interweb where you can do that with billions of people in seconds, how much things are moving and changing. And AI is very much adapted to serve its masters, its creators. So now we're getting private AI, we're getting private cloud, private internet, everything that is custom to individual and cultures and country. And that's what we'll see more and more. We're going to have a very much of a collection of tools that will be safer and safer. So you may have major network. I'm not saying that big data will disappear. I'm just saying that they will evolve as well. Um, this week is NAB in Las Vegas. I didn't make it, didn't want to do. Go. I want to focus on the books and the work that I'm going to be releasing. And why? Because NAB is always going to be there. I don't know if I will be there or if you will be there. So the most important is to release those books so that you and the future can benefit from it if there is any benefit by the grace of God. But focus is what I need to do, and that's where I am. And I'm not, you know, so if you're not a seer or a tarot card reader, this seems like it's very popular right now. Everybody is one on social media. Anyway, in my feed, that's very funny. But the thing is, all you see is a mirror, and it's not the reality. And so you're trying to give people advice based on magnetic, distorted reading of not the truth. Because if somebody is protected by God, believe you me, they're protected against you peeking or anyone, especially big data, and they can't see shit. They're still trying to figure out, and everybody's trying to figure out. I don't like to call people that like chosen one or anointed and whatever. No, 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 please. We're just people that are seekers of the truth, and we're trying to share the little nuggets that we find. That's it. Sometimes the nuggets are more value to people than others, but that's it. It's not us to decide, especially if, like myself, you're a believer and you're under God. You'll never pretend that you know anything because God knows everything. and you're just a servant. But now we mean business. Now we mean real business. Like we're not rolling over and we're not doing things for free neither. Business is business. I love to do those warnings now. I have no fear. If you're going to benefit financially from anything I say throughout my life, be ready to be sued and to pay up. That goes for you, Mr. Bongo, and the whole Bongo family in Gabon. That go for you, Gabon. If I wanted, I could bring you guys to your knees. Yeah, le Gabon est bon. But I'm not going to do it. Je vais pas faire ça. No, no, no. Never. Jamais. But I could. But I will punish the bad people. So if you have ears, hear it. Because I know what you did in the dark. All of it. And God knows even more than what I know. If you want to check what I know, ask. I didn't want me to go specific. So just ask your ancestors and you will know a little bit of what I know. But God is above everything, the whole universe, and it's just amazing. And I want to share that with you. I don't want to share old stories because honestly, the present, and the future is like 100 to 1,000 times better than the past. So why go in the past? That goes with everything. Like I'm talking to Mr. Trump and the U.S. federal government. I could be like the NAACP and file for 100 or the lawyer Michael. So no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to file $100 million lawsuit for Malcolm X when he's worth trillions of dollars. You cannot put a price. I don't know why people are doing that. I don't understand. We should move forward. We should move forward and focus on changing our communities for the best together and how we're going to work together, how we're going to be one together. That's the most important thing because we benefit from it, all of us. So I'm still waiting for economists that will come out, and I'm not a PhD economic guy. So what I'll do is very high level. Economists has to come up behind what I'm doing and confirm or not. But we see this is where knowing who you are is very important. I don't pretend to be a PhD economics teacher or professor. I don't. I know enough that I can see clearly where I can translate some of their knowledge and add some of God's Spirit in it. Same for any science and any area. I'm able to blend the mystical, the spiritual from God and those subjects and try to help the professional, the specialist, to bring about change and things that actually will last forever because they will be in line with positive energy from the Creator. Let me be clear. When I say positive energy, I mean obviously God, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, and the Creator of the universe, which is all one, the Holy Spirit, which is Spirit or Source, as you call it. All right, there's no difference here. And call me whatever, okay? I don't care. The important thing is if people see fruits, if the prayer of the people are answered, not in a greed, egoistical fashion, no, in a godly fashion, and a fashion that benefit the positive of the collective, all people, even the wealthy, even those that have more than others, because they are learning to share. People will come to a place where they will all share equally. Money will mean nothing anymore. It will be how you enjoy your life that is the most important. And if it's forever life, why even fight, man? I don't get it at this point. It will become as it was intended to be an experience where we elevate our soul, our spirit, and go on and have experiences outside of the earth and can come back on the earth, which is where God has his foot, where God's throne is established on Mount Zion. See, you keep on refusing to take God at his word. It's like you're making excuses. Oh, the earth was created 4.5 billion years ago. Well, yeah, and the Bible says, when he looked at it, it was tohu bohu. It was a big freaking mess. Huh. Nobody is denying that the earth has been there forever and whatever. But God's life on earth was established, as he says, in the ancient text. You know, and people now are going out there and reading hieroglyph from Egypt, and that's great because in the concordance, the concordance go to Aramaic Hebrew, which is Egyptian and relates exactly to hieroglyph, letter by letter, representation by representation. So you can cross-reference in any language, or so it goes to, again, ancient texts. We originated in one area, and then we divided, and I'd say millions of, so throughout the earth, out of the 70 major division at the Tower of Babel, that's the story, but it is actually, when you look at Google, the keyboard of language, and it allows you to study languages and how they are written in a written format. So basically, you can find out and see that there is similarities between languages and they evolve from one to the other. And within their own country, you have accent and you have slang, and it creates millions and millions of languages and local communities. And there is a reason for that, not to create division and war, but to create variety. And so life is fun, not watching TV, not being on social media, but experiencing it through peaceful travel, not warring and destroying. Some people enjoy that, but the Gauls, my ancestor, we like to have a physical challenge, and so we rumble around, but we didn't do it just to invade people. Maybe that's why we lost to Julius Caesar, right? We didn't have in our heart to do what he wanted to do to us. But now I think French people are a little bit different, but we're still peaceful, loving people, but I believe that through hardship, everybody has to defend themselves a little bit, and it causes even more problems. And then greed, everybody has greed. Everybody is a bad person, honestly. You know. So ultimately, right now, just do the little things that benefit this moment, and in peace and love. But yeah, so invest in yourself and your communities, and invest in your country. Be safe. Make sure you have food and shelter. And so if that means creating small farm communities and so on, and I saw a lot of stuff like that happening, congratulations. Thank you for those that bring us joy through music and entertainment. Don't forget to do the same on the side and take care of yourself for food and so on. And people that want to take care of our artists, please take care of them. I think we're relearning to live right now. It's horrific. It's it's scary, but don't you feel alive right now? I think we are. I think most people actually are feeling more alive than they have ever felt in the last century. It's weird, isn't it? Well, I think it's a beautiful thing because we're maybe gonna have some of the best time of our lives. I mean, I'm sorry for the sad moment. I'm sorry for the losses, but we have to know in our spirit that these people, and I can assure you in my heart, God doesn't allow people to suffer. It may look horrible on the outside and the experience may look horrific, but those are wiped out of anybody's memory and they are not suffering. God doesn't allow suffering. I know my scars, they look real on my body. It sure felt real when I got my scars. When I suffered, it sure felt horrible. So I'm not saying that the suffering is not real and as we experience it in our physical body. But the transition into the other side is not suffering, and God will completely heal our soul, our mind, our spirit. Once we're with Him, all of this stuff is gone. So that's why we have to rejoice. That's why we do in Africa and many civilizations celebrate when someone passes over. We are sad because of the way they went through some of the conditions that they had to go through. We were sad. We felt horrible. And it's okay because we should not be able to consider that it's okay to make others suffer. That is wrong. And so yes, it's okay for us to feel sad and want for it to never happen again. But at the same time we have to know that God and all of his spirits and angels will not allow this type of suffering to go beyond, as he said, what we can handle, and he will step in. Even at the moment, I remember moments where I was in pain and he was so close to me, I could feel a fire in me. I'm not joking. So I could feel the fire. And that is what kept me from doing anything stupid or kept me alive. Like he gave me the wisdom. When I wasn't after my open heart surgery and I thought I was dying because I was choking myself, I was intubated and I could not breathe for over 30 minutes. I was kicking, I was doing everything. My ex-wife and my daughter saw me. I had, one of those drainage before the surgery, congestion, and I was choking on myself. I could not breathe. And it's God that told me to calm the F down, and I had to breathe very slowly and very shallow for 30 minutes. I remember even kicking several of the nurses, and I heard them talking and laughing. And for 30 minutes, I thought I was dying, and these assholes were laughing. And they told me, oh, it's okay, it's normal, it's usual. And basically, they gave me the flat answer, and I'm not suing the hospital. It's not worth my while. I'm just telling you, the experience of death, I know exactly. I was right about to die for 30 minutes, like choking, all right? Like you're choking underwater. That's how I felt for 30 minutes. So yes, when I tell you that God was with me, that's the truth. So take courage and enjoy today. I love you. Don't worry about me.